Hey everyone, Bob here, KD4 BMG HOA Ham. The recent visit to the Chameleon manufacturing site of Roltech was an absolute blast. I saw an unbelievable amount of antennas in the process of being manufactured. Today I want to share with you installment number 2. There was just way too much information to share with one video, and we'll conclude today's video with talking about where antenna wire is made for Chameleon. It's just around the corner from the Roltech site. But let's start off with some other interesting things that they're doing there to make sure that we always get really quality gear. You're actually 3D printing something now that is a future Chameleon product?
Yep. So this is a potential future Chameleon product. And like I said before, we work with Mastercam, SolidWorks to design, engineer, these products that we're working on. And before we actually set up one of our CNC machines to run it, and it's expensive, we're able to do a simple kind of 3D mold and do simple tests, handle it, see if it's something that we want before we move forward.
You can 3D print stuff that you can't machine, can't you?
Oh yes, actually. Let me show this. This comes out of there like this.
So this comes out of there like that. So a working screw comes out of 3D print. That's bizarre.
So, it's very strange. It's very
because I'm familiar with machining and undercuts, and you can't get a tool into the into a radius or whatever. You can 3D print it.
You can 3D print it. Yeah. So, and I mean, the 3D printing, honestly, it's advancing so incredibly. I'm sure we're going to get to a point where we'll have things like this that'll actually make products that work.
So we've talked about the upgrades and iterations over time for improvement that Chameleon just continues to change product and make it better. So can you talk us through that thought?
Yeah. So, aside from working on our new products like the coil and things like that, we don't ever stop when we make a product, and you've seen that a lot. Our customers have seen it with the F-Loop. We've had 3 versions of the F-Loop now, and essentially it works. It functions the same, but we try to make the designs.
And by the way, thanks for making the remote tuner for the F-Loop 2.0, right? Because a lot of manufacturers, they move on to the next iteration of something and they leave the customers in the dust.
Yeah.
You guys made an investment on a new product for the remote tuner for your newest mag loop, and you went backward compatible to the F-Loop 2.0, and that picked a lot of us up, so thanks for that.
Yeah, no, we wanted to make sure that, we're not, leaving those people in the dark. I mean, the F-Loop 2.0 was around for quite a long time before we moved over to the F-Loop 3.0, so it just didn't make sense to make a remote tuner and not have it be able to be offered to all of those customers that have 2.0s. And in that same sense, we're always looking to kind of better our product, whether it's the way it technically works, but also the functionality, the enclosures. And one thing I have here is you can see kind of the evolution of the MCOM. There was actually we don't keep a lot of stock here, especially the older stuff. But not originally, the second one that we made was, as you can see here, a transformer. But there was an ABS black tube that would go here, and so this would sit there. I don't have black ABS, but I did find this, and this is a very old transformer because we don't even use the copper and the brass inside anymore. We're using aluminum. And so after, I think we ran like this for about 2 years, and we wanted to get away from having 3 pieces. Also, the ABS is very good, but it's also in high heat. It might, it's not as strong as other plastics. So we kind of evolved it to this guy, which is here. This one. It started selling quite a bit about 3-4 years ago. So this was our MCOM 2. And so what we did with this one, again, the transformer is the exact same, functionality is the exact same, but it's just built a little more sturdy. Kind of started developing the Chameleon high quality of products. And what this was very simple. We just took solid PVC and just made a 2-section, as opposed to having 3 and having a lot of joints where you might have humidity or water getting into it. Now we can minimize it by making 2 pieces. Now, what happened after this product, I am a really big fan of this Encon too. This is probably my favorite one. I helped with the design, that's probably why. We were having trouble acquiring the PVC. And so, same with everything else, we're looking how to better it, how to not better it. And so currently, it is manufactured in this box, which we have a few different products that are using this specific box. One, it was very easy to acquire. It's a very sturdy box, very, it works very well. And so what we have to do is we just drill this box out. We don't have to fully machine it. So by doing that, it did help us after the pandemic, during the pandemic and all that. PVC was difficult to get. It was very expensive. So we would have had to raise the price on this antenna quite a bit if we wanted to continue making it in that. So keeping the customer in mind, but keeping our product quality in mind, we decided to move it over to our box.
So you can hold a price, still give the customer what they need from a quality and a performance perspective. Now that has latches on it. Do you disable those latches, or can the customer get nosy and poke in there and see what it is? It's not that there's any tweaking to do to it. It just might be something of interest for people to look at.
We do, we have a little screw on here.
There we go.
Obviously the customer can go into it.
The customer can void the warranty if they want to take the screw out.
And then purchase it, they can
They're
do it.
hams. They do that kind of stuff.
That is one of the things with this one. If somebody wanted to open it, they could. I wouldn't recommend it because it is sealed. If there's no need to, I wouldn't recommend it because it is sealed. So it is very high water resistant.
Okay.
So if you're opening it and closing it and opening it, it's going to just kind of wear it down.
And so we do a lot of work together. They specialize in wire, custom wire, anything you can imagine, they will do it for you. So we've been working, again, we have a good relationship with them, we've worked with them forever, and so we kind of partnered up and we're, doing business for each other. And so they've been making Chameleon's wire for about 6-7 years now.
Did they move into here to partner with you guys, or were they already here and you found them? Because this is great to have them right across the block.
I know, right? This facility is new. They had a small, so they actually have about 4 different warehouses here in Southern California. Plus they have a couple in Oregon and Washington, so they're a very big company. And so they just moved into this facility, which is much bigger. They had a small kind of storage area before, but it makes it very simple because I just walk over here.
Check on orders.
Check on orders. Yeah, so this is where we get it all done. They do the special OD green color for us on the wire. And I don't know if you've seen, we recently added our...
I did see the colored, yes.
Yellow.
Yes. They will stand out at POTA and any park you're operating at. People trip over that. Then
yeah, that was kind of, we had a friend of ours was like, these winders would be great if we made them bright so we wouldn't lose them. Which was, we have the tan ones now because we're kind of getting that camo, kind of tactical look. And, when he mentioned that, I was like, we should make them in the right colors. And since we have a mold, we can do that. And so after that, I was like, well, if we're making the winders, we can make them wire. So it's our same quality wire that we have been using for the last 7-8 years. They just make it over here. So this is actually super cool. I don't believe it's, actually, this is our wire that's being made, our bright green wire.
okay, so this is for the new kits for radials, and this is the green color.
Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, but it's the same color, and we're at the end of it here, so it's being done. But if we walk over, let's try not to get in their way too much. So it'll roll off.
So when you say make wire, you mean make wire. We have a spool of raw wire here.
Raw wire. It'll feed it through here. You can see they have a small little flame that'll start heating it up. And if you walk through, just kind of follow it down here, and you'll see the entire process from the raw wire all the way to the end.
All right, so in that first tunnel, it's basically heating up and applying the colorant, the coating. All right, and up here in this trough, it's cooling. Some more cooling. Final cooling, getting ready to wind. All right, so if you're in the market for some new bright green radial wires from Chameleon, it's going to be in stock real soon. So this is where they're doing all the different colors, and this is where they do this. Is this where they also do the regular antenna wire for you guys?
Yeah. So any wire that we use or anything, any Chameleon product is made comes from here, all custom made for
Okay, so one of the most interesting things about the Chameleon wire is the Kevlar thread.
Correct.
So would that be a separate spool down there that's feeding the Kevlar thread through as the wire is being fed
So
through?
the radials actually doesn't have Kevlar. So the radials do not come with Kevlar.
Yes, I would have expected that to be the case, but for your actual antenna wire,
so there'll be two
they're making
spools.
that here for you.
Correct.
So another made in the USA.
Another made in the USA.
Wow.
And we have recently, I don't know if you've heard, partnered up as well with Shakespeare Military.
Yes, I was going to ask about that.
So that, it's huge for us. It's very exciting. And we're in the beginning stages with them on, what products they're using. So they're testing a lot of our products. And we're actually going to be modifying a lot of our existing products to their specs and what they need.
So there's going to be application of the existing Chameleon line into the Shakespeare line. Is there going to be any of the reverse of that? Is there anything from Shakespeare that's going to come and make its way into the Chameleon?
That a little bit, a couple of different products. Nothing set in stone yet right now.
Is anything that you're modifying for the Shakespeare line going to make sense to make it as an alternate for the Chameleon line?
Yeah, it is. So I'll give you an example. One of them is BNC connectors over SO239. So we have been creating MPAS kits for them. That's one of the big changes. They want BNCs, not SO239.
And I never would have thought military and BNC.
But that's essentially the stage that we're in right now. Is they're playing with some of our products, giving us some feedback, and we're doing modifying them to what they want, so we can get to a final kind of product.
Okay.
But the reason I brought that up is they were looking for a braided wire as opposed to a normal stranded. And actually, if we go over here, I don't believe this is one of ours, and you can see how they make that braided wire here. And this is really, really neat. This one looks like it's only 3 strands.
Oh my.
But they'll load up as many strands as you want on your braided wire, and this machine will sit here.
So I can't count them that fast, but is there 50? How many spools are on there? 16?
16.
So 16 spools being braided into a single wire, and as fast as they're moving, this is how slow it's coming onto the master spool.
A little longer.
So what is this wire here that's being fed separate?
That's the SPC wire.
Is that the core? Is that the core of the braid? The center?
Yeah, center.
Okay. Thank you. If you had half as much fun watching as I did touring, then you just had a good time. There's some really awesome stuff happening at Chameleon Antennas, and a lot of antennas in process of being manufactured. I got some new stuff to show you. Can't wait. Talk to you soon, friend. 73.